And like I said, just so you know, I'm talking to your whole audience because you're sharing your desktop audio and you can hear me, so they can hear me, but they can't hear you. Yeah, it's okay. No one will mind. All right, now your YouTube is now streaming. So and go for your audio on your audio tab. Where you had the song for the intro. Don't worry, your YouTube's fine. Hit play, and you are off to the races. Make sure that volume's up on the tab. Yep. There you go. You're streaming. All right, you gotta go back to OBS. You're fine. When this is over, you just gotta bring it over to your main screen, bring everyone in, and start talking. No, so you have to transition, right? Yes. Yep. You good? Well, I think Discord's eating up your bandwidth by sharing to me at the same time, so. You are good. Just remember that everyone can see your screen when you start to go to bring up articles. Just remember to maximize them and start talking, and you should be fine. No worries. I'm gonna go watch in the crowd, and if you need help, just shout. Sure. Alright, now you gotta stop streaming in Discord. Let's see. You gotta bring up the browser window that Discord is in and close everything. Yeah, don't switch and just exit the tab.
Oh, no, I'm on YouTube. We're doing it live. Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me now? Properties. Put it. There's, yeah. All right, what about now? Can you hear me now? Please tell me it's working. I think it is. It's picking me up. Oh my lord. It seems like it might be. I don't know. Someone please tell me this is working. It is. Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to be able to catch up to where. Yes, on the mic off. I mean, it is there, but it's not. Oh, so you have me now? Maybe. What about now? Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me? I don't know. I don't see the chat. Okay, so what am I doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, the settings? Is this? That? That? Okay. Well, if you can hear me on the stream, I think I'm good and we can start the show maybe. Not yet. Okay, well, I changed the volume on it, so maybe it's better now. Give them a minute. I don't know. I hope so. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest here. Sit. Yes? Yeah, how about now? So volume is up all the way and I hear myself talking. Yes. Is that better? I don't know, it's in my ears. um Yes, I'm sure you guys are having fun laughing at my pain. Okay, so there's reverb, which I'm turning all the way up, and I don't want that, so I'm going to turn that all the way down. the volume is pretty much all the way up. And then this other one is noise canceling. So maybe that? Is that better? Nothing like public embarrassment to get the day going. I hope not. I'm loud as hell in my ears. I don't know. That's usually how he has it, so I don't. I thought maybe that was right. I know it is. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Can you guys hear me in the chat now? Because I can't really tell. I would love to. Perfect. I don't think she's using that mic. I am using this mic. This is the mic I'm using. The headphone mic, you don't want to hear that. It's not good. Oh, I'm too quiet because I'm soft spoken. Okay. I will yell at you. Good Lord. Okay. So I have the rock. That's good. We're good? Got it? I don't know. I haven't really changed anything. I think you're fine. You're fine. They can hear you. Okay, cool. They can also hear me on the phone because it's turn up the loud. They can hear me almost as loud as you. Well, yeah, you're on a speaker right next to me, so. All right. Word, thank you. Well, now that we're here, all right. What now? Now I show you guys stuff. I don't want to speak up. I don't like yelling. Okay. So if I just talk really loud, you guys can hear me like this better. But if I talk softer, like I usually like to, you don't like it. So. Okay, I shall hold it closer. Maybe. Okay. What's up, guys? How are we doing? Mellowdome, thank you for telling me I need to speak louder. Justin Johnson, Grandma's getting over the kids. Jeremy Bird, and oh my gosh, Stephanie, Brianna, I can't read everybody's names. Wes, Cami, Lisa, RJ, Chilling. Thank you guys all for showing up. There's a lot more people here than I thought there would be, and I am incredibly nervous. So, let's see. Now what do I do? Now I need to get off of this part. How do we do an open panel? I don't want to talk to myself the whole time. Well, it should be easy enough, right? I figured everything else out. You guys want to do an open panel? You want to help me? All right. I have loaded Zoom. Oh, I've never been on Zoom before. I don't know how this works. Uh-huh. New meeting? Okay. And then... Now what am I looking at? Okay. Participants. invite, copy invite link, and oh my Lord, help me. Okay. Okay. In case you guys were wondering what a mess I was. How do I do this? Okay. Aha. All right, Lord, thank you. Okay, guys. Let's see if I can figure this out now. I don't know how Zoom works. I don't really know how this works now. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted. Now what do I do? Oh my goodness. I cannot hear you, Shane. Let's unmute you. No, I don't want to do that. Am I doing that right? Is that right?
All right, so there we go. That works. Sorry, everyone. Do you have Zoom maximized on your stream, on your screen?
I do now.
And that way I won't see all the background stuff you got going on.
Yeah, my mess.
So we have to maximize Zoom.
We are maximized. Okay.
Cool. And then you have to admit that. So you see all those people want to come in
No.
on the right in the Zoom. You have to admit them, right? It says admit, I think. No, it doesn't. All right, I'm just kidding. That was too small.
So yeah, anybody want to come up
There we go. So we got that going. Who else wants to join at 3:30 in the afternoon? Where's Melodome?
Lots of fun stuff. So how do I?
So the mic it sounds great in Zoom as I'm hearing you. So it's definitely on the stream issue.
All right. Can't hear me anymore.
No, I mean I hear you great in Zoom, but the stream is pretty low still. If you go to OBS, once you maximize the mic volume, maybe it was almost max.
Oh my Lord. Guys, please come join me. Come talk to me. I'm confused and nervous. Okay, OBS. I am talking. Can anybody hear me still?
You should put it up to maximum. That was like at 75%, and it's really low.
Oh, that?
Yeah. What's up, JT?
How about now?
This should be better for them.
Lisa, updates on Skylar. He is still sitting where he started. We have a meeting with a private attorney tomorrow to let's go back to Zoom. Where's Zoom? Too many thoughts at one time. Hi. I can't hear you.
I hadn't said
Oh,
anything.
okay.
I was trying to listen to the stream. It's still super low. It's really frustrating, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that. She's
I
super
think she
low.
just has to be really close to the mic because, like, an inch and she's way far away.
Yeah,
It's just,
but
Yeah,
you can
well,
listen to her here in Zoom, and it's perfectly clear. No,
I'm
so it's
trying
not
to
the
you,
mic.
your audio was coming through her stream perfect. So it's something about input settings, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or that mic has 3 switches on the back and a knob, and
Yeah, that's one of the physical things on the mic that I'm unfamiliar with. Maybe,
I'll
but
just hold the microphone.
she said she turned it up, and like I said, it sounds crystal clear in here. So it's not even the input settings. It's specifically in OBS. Then I'm deducing.
Okay, everybody's saying that the sound is better.
Nice.
So
Work in progress.
fun stuff. All right. I guess we'll just start with what I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. So I came across this, as we know. It's anything that comes from NASA is just bleh. But this map, I didn't even really read the article, to be honest with you. It's something about carbon emissions and pollution and some other stuff. But I was looking at this map and it looked really familiar to me. And I couldn't place it until like the next day. And I saw this video, which I think you guys might get where I'm going with it. So let me know if you can hear that.
And I'm going to show you a map of people gone missing.
And
they coordinate perfectly. The top map shows.
Could you hear that okay?
Yeah, you're a screen sharing pro, except for your own volume. This is going really, really well.
Killing them.
Yeah,
but they
100%.
all those people like those
like
night
mole
walkers,
people,
skinwalkers.
And now you could explain it as, of course, more people are going to go missing around caves because like caves are dangerous. So
Okay,
you fall
that's a
in.
valid point.
But like
it's
all
correlation.
missing cases happen to be around caves. Like
but that's not all missing. It's just where these are missing people by caves.
No. This is just a map of missing cases in America. That's all it is.
And all of this happens to be overlap directly with the national park system in America.
Yeah, and there are a lot of national park ranger reports, a lot, that they'll be like, you do not want to be outside in the national park at night. And you're like, what? And they'll be like, we can't talk about what we've seen. I'm going to show you a map of the cave system in America.
This is terrible.
Okay. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but
Hell yeah. This is people going missing in caves.
okay, so the National Missing Persons Map happens to be, let me see, where did it go? It's over here. This is a independent map. This private people, private organization, and of course not nearly all of the cases, or barely any of them are on here. But you can just kind of see where they're laying out, right? Now, if we go back to this guy, which this guy is writing he did a whole blog off of the video we just watched, trying to debunk it, saying that the map that he used that stated that it was the missing person cases was just another detailed map of a cave system in the national parks, which he is correct. But he is extremely biased in saying that just because that map is wrong, that the information is wrong. Because I started double checking it and I did my own. I can't find it now. But we see where the map, the cave systems are. This runs from Tennessee down here all the way up. Like, these cave systems go all the way up the continent. They go all the way out through the Great Lakes. There's national parks with probably, there's Mammoth Cave is over here. Oh god, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited.
No, it's like a lot of domes too. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, what's up, Austin?
Yes,
What's
I
up,
can.
bro?
Hi.
What's up?
What's up, JT?
Hey, just chilling, man.
Yeah, man, thanks for hopping on and filling out the
Okay.
panel. We had some tech issues that we sorted through.
Yeah, I was watching. I was trying to get on.
Do you have the same mic as she does, by the way?
I do have that mic. I don't use it
Ah,
anymore. But
oh,
do you have it turned up on that mic? I think she does though.
yeah, she said she did.
Yeah. Um,
You sound great in Zoom.
That's what I was saying. It sounds
Cool.
great in here, so it's definitely an OBS output thing, but we could figure it out on Mac.
crazy. Um,
But
the
this cave thing, so have you heard of missing 411,
Oh yeah.
Jessica?
yeah.
Right? Is this related to that? Because I'm getting super into it now that you're explaining it and outlining
Kind
it.
of, yeah. So I have a pretty. I grew up in Missouri. I went to the caverns all of the time, like several times out of the year. That's just what we did. Where is it at? I maybe it's because it's in here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. But okay. Oh, I didn't put nears. That's the one U.S. missing persons.
Wow.
Okay, so this is just a detailed map of the caves themselves. So you have every individual, location, and this is only what's actually been explored. Only a fraction of what we can see has been explored. Why does it do this weird stuff? The map is interactive, so it's weird.
And they got domes, they got cities in these mountains.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Like for hundreds of miles, semi trucks driving through the mountains.
So
All the way across country too, from the east, from coast to coast.
Yes, sir.
This one, okay. So after seeing the missing persons case, then I was like, but wait, aren't there underground cities? And there are. There are whole. Turkey alone has 36. And then it just, Portland, United States. Okay, so if we go. I love this. It's not going to let me do it now.
Look at you maneuvering like a pro.
Yeah, you're killing it right now.
I'm trying to.
You're doing great.
Who else wants to cooperate? Look up. Maybe? What just happened? I don't want that.
Shanghai tunnels.
Hey guys. Okay, so what I was doing was I was taking the national park locations and then I would just search that location and then put missing persons or unsolved cases or whatever behind it. And the amount of people that are unsolved going back years, like this is the DOE network for missing persons, or bodies found that are unidentified and people that are still missing.
I've never actually connected the missing parks caves fiasco across the country to the underground cave situation. Like you mapped it right on the head. So you took the missing persons report, like say like by density, and then you matched it to like, are there underground caves here where people could have been taken and or escaped to without anyone's notice? And there almost always is.
Oh,
is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
I believe so. Okay, so take all of that into consideration, and then I'm gonna play this twice just so we can really digest it. But listen to what she says, and then.
Government is the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation. We literally have government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So one whistleblower coming forward, telling the truth, sets in motion a cascade of things that you could never imagine. So I was very grateful for the opportunity for someone to tell the truth. And who knows, maybe one of you could be the next person. My name is Tara Rodas, and thanks to the bravery of Aaron Stevenson And thanks to Project Veritas and James O'Keefe for publishing the story, I was sitting on the Pomona Fairplex emergency intake site processing unaccompanied children. So you may know that children were coming to this country from other countries. We were taking them into the care, HHS, and then delivering them to sponsors, unvetted sponsors throughout the United States. So because one whistleblower came forward and because one organization was willing to tell the truth, I was able to then uncover and report that the U.S. government is the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation. We literally have government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So one whistleblower coming forward, telling the truth, sets in motion a cascade of things that you could never imagine. So I was very grateful for the opportunity for someone to tell the truth. And who knows, maybe one of you could be the next person to come forward.
Nice.
So, keeping that in mind is where I started going with all of this. And when you look at I'm sorry, it's emotional for me. The national missing person cases, the amount of children that are missing, and that the FBI themselves have rewards for, like a $20,000 reward for any information in regards to this child that went missing in the 80s. This is what they should look like now. But they happened to go missing in one of the biggest tourist attracted areas, just happens to be in the same town or within miles of a location of the same cities that house these national parks. If that makes sense.
I always knew they were connected to the national parks, like in
Yeah.
big open expanses, but I never thought about the caves underneath. And then if we're saying that one for one, all parks have caves, then all missing people end up in caves is, I guess, the deduction that we can now make.
I wouldn't say that all missing people end up in caves. No, I think that a good portion of people that go missing in national cave or national parks are, mistakes. But on the cave, where is
Some of them have some really, really strange stories or strange outcomes. I used to listen to this missing podcast where they were detailing missing cases and things like that. And there's one case that stuck with me where it was like a 5-year-old or 4-year-old went missing in one of these national parks, and they found the clothes and the shoes of this child on a side of a cliff, like on a sheer cliff. There was no way for this child to have gotten there on foot. It was just impossible. But their clothes and the shoes were on this ledge, on this face of a cliff. That's all they found from the 5-year-old. And there's all kinds of weird little stories like that.
So
Yeah, it'd be weird if you found one story like that, but there are hundreds, and they always
Yes.
find the shoes, and they always find it's the weirdest thing ever.
In the weirdest spots.
where is I had my own map that I had made, and now I'm wondering what I did with it.
That's why I use Telegram for.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to fix Telegram. Apparently, the desktop version isn't loaded, so we gotta hook her up.
Oh, really? Yeah, I
it-
gotta set that up.
It wasn't working right. It was working fine the other day, but it's not now.
There's always a lot of updates you gotta do. So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that's it. It's probably a Mac update. It probably stopped working on Mac until you get the update. I think I just solved it.
And then this was in regards to both the topic I mentioned and in regards to what's going on in Hawaii. If it wants to load. Where's the sound?
The sound on the stream is solid now for you. I don't know what happened,
Okay, cool.
but that's off to a better start.
Okay, so I can't. Why isn't this making sound?
That mic is one directional, so one side It doesn't matter if you're speaking it. It has to be facing you.
Okay. Why? There she is.
Pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, I'll be quiet. Yeah, this is wild.
Developing through all its nations, but with the WHO Directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts. Provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase.
Who is this bitch?
One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO.
Let's find out.
Yeah, please, because
She reached the
fuck
World
that
Economic
bitch.
Forum. Yeah.
Let's see.
And I know she looked too damn old to be part of the Young Leaders Program. Who is that lady?
I don't know. It's
We're
not going to tell me
undergoing
now.
a soft coup. And the idea...
It doesn't give me any information. It's just a duetted video from TikTok that was on Facebook.
I'm going to try and find that.
But
You gotta love when governments decide to award themselves more power in the name of emergencies, and then quickly create more emergencies to award themselves more power. And you're like, oh, I see what happened here.
I swear, we only have problems when we create them.
Problem, reaction, solution.
Right.
Let's see. I don't need that anymore, I don't think. I went on a crazy goose chase, guys. Have you guys seen this video? Because
No.
he is verifying what she just said they were doing. Can we watch it, maybe? I can't do it. I don't know.
Well, you're doing great so far. You guys in the chat, you guys should hit that like button.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, and I just saw it, Zachary Zabala, thank you so much for your PayPal. Thank you. $50 PayPal.
Yeah, Zach's the man.
Ah, here it is. Okay.
Sitting next to Cheeseburger in Paradise, selling the most awesome for years.
Sorry.
He's like a legend, and everyone loves Fish, and Fish loves everybody. But he's one of the wisest people that I know, by the way. Anyway, Fish, continue.
So I went around back to Front Street, and all the cars were lined up, but none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to Chart House. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end, and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach, still no cars coming out. and I started hearing boom, 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 and then I heard people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where the restaurant is?
Right, where the chart house
Where the
was.
chart house was, I should
Right.
say. There was a blockade there, and they could not go any further.
Right, I walked.
What the hell?
I walked all the way from Safeway to there. Not one car had moved.
By the way, if you guys don't know who this is Fish. He's been sitting next to Cheeseburger in Paradise, selling the most awesome stuffs, right, for years. He's a
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I think this is one of the craziest ones in our time. But Witsit did a stream on it that was pretty all encompassing, playing all the
Yeah.
clips.
Yeah.
The most interesting part of that being that there are like hundreds of fires across the world right now as
Yep.
the New World Order burns themselves to burn back better without anyone even being the wiser. It's really insane.
Mm-hmm. This is
Yo,
what I really think. I'm looking
surprising
forward to.
thing is like in Revelation, it says a third of the earth's grasses will be burnt up. And I always thought like Yah would do the burning. And I never ever thought maybe man is going to play a part in some of the prophecies. Like, you know,
I know they're evicting people in Hawaii right now. The
Right,
ones
so
that their house
ones-
didn't even get burned. How fucked up is that?
The ones that lived
No.
and disobeyed the cop telling them to stay inside their burning home, disobeyed them to stay alive. But now, because you survived, we're gonna evict you and take your property anyway. It's like, yeah, okay.
Nah,
It's comical. It's sad. I mean, and then you got Oprah and The Rock. Like, oh, the people of America, donate your money. Donate your money. Barely making rent. You know, I got, what was it, $10 million house over there?
Yeah.
Go
You
fuck
know-
off, man.
You know where all that money goes, though, right? Like, all those fundraisers, they never go to where they say they're
Oh,
going in
yeah.
the first place. It's
Tax
on like,
write-offs.
yeah, they just take the money and fund child trafficking anyway. And
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, I'm helping. It's $100, and it's the most perverse thing you can imagine.
Like The Rock is worth 800 million, I think. And he's asking people like us for money. Bro, get up out of here, dog. Wait, I smell what he's cooking. It's some bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't know you were into the Maui things, Jessica, but that wasn't the first one, right? The first one that we know of was in California.
yeah.
And then
Paradise.
you think like, what does the mainstream people think about this? Because to us, it's obvious. So like, they are burning people alive, and they're like, no. But the
Well-
mainstream sees this what akin to what Matthew Learn sees, right? We asked him the other day. He's like, no. Wildfires burn and melt aluminum all the time. Yeah, it happened in California.
Well,
We're like, oh man.
correct me if I'm wrong. I do have a question. I'm not entirely knowledgeable on all things, obviously. How did Puerto Rico and the islands out there, how did they become part of the United States territories?
I assume strong arming them.
That's
So-
what I think's happened. I think it was one of these national disasters, and like, oh no, let us help you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's just like
That's always
with
how they do it.
wasn't Turkey they were going against NATO, and then all of a sudden they got hit with an earthquake and a
Right.
snowstorm at the same time, and now they need NATO's help.
Okay. Do you remember a
Yeah.
few years ago there was I can't remember. I think it was their port blew up. It was a country, their port blew up, and then the whole country went into disarray, and
Beirut.
their leaders they're like, you know what, we're gonna step down and we're gone because their people were rioting.
It was Beirut, wasn't it? There was an explosion in the
Beirut,
Beirut
yeah.
factory.
Yeah.
And then the whole, like, there was a shockwave that went around and that video surfaced everywhere. They were comparing it to mini nukes back when I believed in nukes. And then the
Mhm.
whole factory like collapsed. And they said, actually, some fireworks hit some manure and everything blew up. And we
I
were like, what?
I heard it was stuff stored improperly on one of the ships.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it was fuel or something. I don't know.
Next to a grain silo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I said was only a loose embellishment. That's kind of the whole thing. Like, actually, we stored it and then it just blew up.
Yeah.
You know, like, all right.
Oh no.
But yeah, but there was videos circling after that, actually, that like when all that was blown up, that there were like tunnels exposed underneath, and they had like found people in there too. So I don't know if that was. I saw some crazy videos circulating of like the aftermath of Beirut 6 months after that when they were excavating tunnels and shit. So who knows?
In case you guys were wondering. There was something I was looking for, and I cannot find the page now. I've got too many that I wanted to talk about at the same time.
You had a bunch of tabs open.
Yeah. We just watched.
Just run through them and they'll come to mind.
We didn't watch
Right.
this yet. No. Okay. This is what really set me off on their using the caves to traffic people.
Or 7 people have been indicted on numerous charges. And one of those people at the top was Cedric Lodge, the manager of Harvard Medical School's morgue since the 90s. He allegedly stole parts from donated cadavers before they could be cremated and then sold them for a bunch of money. His wife has been indicted as well, and they allegedly took some of those parts home before shipping them out to buyers in other states. Lodge is also accused of letting some buyers into the morgue so they could pick out which parts they wanted. One of those alleged buyers is Katrina McLean. She owns a store called Cat's Creepy Creations. In October of 2020, she bought 2 dissected faces from Harvard's morgue for $600. And from 2018 to 2020, she transferred over $37,000 to Cedric Lodge. Earlier this month, Candace Scott of Little Rock, Arkansas was indicted on similar charges. Candace worked for a mortuary and her job was to transport, cremate, and embalm remains. Instead of cremating all the remains, she was allegedly selling some of them. In October of 2021, she approached Jeremy Pauley in an Oddities Facebook group. In her first message, she wrote, quote, "Just out of curiosity, would you know anyone in the market for a fully intact embalmed brain?" Over the next 9 months, she sold Pauley fetuses, brains, hearts, lungs, genitalia, large pieces of skin, and other body parts. And she collected nearly $11,000 in PayPal transfers. At one point, she allegedly stole the corpses of 2 stillborn babies that were supposed to be cremated and returned to their families. Federal authorities just exposed a black market.
That's wild. I just had me thinking, the reports of all the children that were sent home from school early during the Maui fires, and then the numbers of deaths that they're putting on the news compared to what the natives and the residents are saying. I don't know, man. Got some little children organs now. Dude, that's so ugh. I know somebody who says that when you go and get your loved one cremated, those ashes aren't even theirs. Like it's just
no. So it's like a, it's like a, like the park grill.
Yeah.
Right. Their coals are there. They don't clean the oven before they put the new fire in, or
oh man,
it is really upsetting, and
it is. I got my mom's ashes now. It's like, man,
yeah,
I don't know who's in there.
At least enough of hers there.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, enough of her, right?
I have some of my grandma's ashes. My sister's she spread her ashes all over. Like every beach she's been at, grandma's there.
That's cool. I should take some of my mom to the next time we go to the beach.
Yeah,
she loved the beach.
It's a big moment.
My wife took some of her ashes and made a stash box for me out of her ashes.
Nice.
This thing right here.
Oh, wicked nice.
Has her ashes all inside it.
That's cool. That's cool. I want to get my grandma's made in a pendant.
Oh, I got a pendant too. It's made and it looks like a little crystal. I don't wear it though. I'm scared I'll lose it.
Oh. That is terrifying. Okay, so what are your guys' thoughts?
I think
Chris
you've done
is
more
here.
work.
What's up, homie?
What's up, FMX Radio?
Going on, my friends? Good tidings, good blessings to you all. I've been listening to you. I've been looking for some other TikToks that I found earlier today that was speaking on what y'all were talking about already. Give me one second.
Nice.
Awesome. This is a great first stream right here. Hey, this is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Shane, for rescuing me because I would have just canceled the whole thing.
Yeah, no, we can't have that. I told you the first one will be messy and just to get it over with, and then the rest of them will be easier.
Yeah. I've got to start working because if I don't, I'm not. Well,
Right. But yeah, I was concerned that you were waiting a while, but now that you got it kicked off, you'll be doing it regularly. I can already tell. After the first butterflies wore off, you're already a natural. You're switching screens, changing tabs. I'm tracking on the live screen. She's sharing videos, bringing back up the full Zoom screen. She's already a pro. Actually, she's better than Skylar ever was. Sorry, guys.
I learn a lot faster.
Yeah, that's probably true, huh? I noticed that.
Yeah, I learn
when I
quickly,
tried.
but I don't have a big attention span, so I jump everywhere. One thought connects here, and then we've got a big board with red lines everywhere.
Yeah, it's tough to take people with you on that quick voyage throughout the topics.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll figure it out. Gosh, if I could find let me go and see if I can go back. We don't need her anymore. There was a cave I wanted to show you guys because it. Okay, these are the underground cities. By the way, excuse me. Why do they have like drainage grates and stuff? Like, how you guys got like cafes and like
kitchens.
Yeah, like what kind of elite nightclub is this really? Because they said in some of these that they're only allowed. There's so many stories. I don't remember which one it is. There's like they have like 9 stories, but the public's only allowed to like 4 or 5 of them, while the others are still fully intact and functioning. Like what?
Well, one of those floors are for the bloodbath rituals.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, you too friendly.
This is in Portland, Oregon. Portland has its own underground city, intricate network reportedly once consisted of tunnel passageways linking Portland's Old Town, also known as Chinatown, to the central downtown area. Unfortunately, many of these subterranean spaces have been filled, blah, 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 fall-ins. Supposedly. Many of the basements downtown, where was it? I just read it. There's still a controversial topic. Rumor has it the tunnels have also been used for shanghaiing, kidnapping people to service sailor, whatever.
I wonder if that's where the term comes from in the first place, actually. I got shanghaied.
Why are they called the Shanghai tunnels? Like in Oregon, in the middle of Oregon, you're gonna name something. I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's also known as the Portland Underground. That's
Yes.
probably the more colloquial way to refer it, and that's where the denizens of the local area would know it as, right?
Yeah.
And that sounds more sinister than Shanghai, whatever.
It probably earned the name Shanghai tunnels because of the rumors of people getting ganked. And Shanghai is a very it used to be a large traffic city.
In Portland's Old Town, they said it was called Chinatown, so that's probably the link, whatever. That makes sense.
Yo, Shanghai, that's what that means. I just looked it up. Shanghai does mean kidnapping men. Well, it originated in China, in Shanghai, when they had they were kidnapping sailors.
For drafting. They were like
making them on board, making them crewmen. Yes. Yeah.
Yep, the government kidnapping and forcing them to work.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
It's a lot. I still can't find it. The cave I'm looking for, I believe it's out near Mammoth Cave, California side. But it's a waterfall that you can see from the inside, but like looking down, it looks like a well. It looks like a water well, like a small water well, but to a giant size. Like, if I could find it. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. I don't know what my dog is doing, but Grandma's yelling at her.
And the wonderful mic means we can't hear it. Yeah.
That's good. Mammoth Cave. Okay, this is in. So, I was thrown off at first because these are supposed to be the largest caverns in the United States, but this is in Mexican territory. Like, so I don't understand if maybe the Caribbean. Okay, so the Caribbean is U.S. territory, right? That was the question.
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
No.
I lost it.
Okay. Is the Caribbean U.S. territory?
No. Is it?
I think it is.
Yes, most of it
Yes.
is. My boy was from St. Croix, and that was part of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Not all of the Caribbean. We own it, of course. There's a lot of different islands owned some by Spain and whatnot, but not all of ours.
Gotcha.
They
Few
vote, don't they?
Not ours. Who?
The Caribbean, they don't vote for our president
they-
there? Do they
they
like
vote.
they do in Puerto Rico?
Yeah,
They
I mean,
should.
my
I
boy
mean, they're
voted. He was
territory.
again St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
Right. Okay.
They're not I don't think that they're a state. I think they're just considered a territory, but they should.
Well, yeah, they don't really care though because it's hard. It's rough living on an island. If y'all never lived on an island before, ooh boy.
Man, I don't know how U.S. territories work if they're not states. Like I don't know how Puerto Rico works logistically. You know what I mean? I don't know how they do
I
that.
think it works almost like a state. I think they're trying to make it. There's some people trying to make it a state, but I know that you vote for the president out there. And
Well, that means they matter, I guess. Man, that's depressing.
yeah, because their votes matter, right?
Everybody's vote matters. Yes.
So this is not only they claim that it's one of the largest caverns in the U.S., but it's the second longest known underwater cave system. The second longest known underwater cave system in the Caribbean. But we weren't said to have explored the Caribbean till when?
How's there a cave system in the Caribbean? Like, how high is
That's what I'm
elevation there? How is
saying.
that possible?
They're in the middle of the ocean.
Beneath the ocean?
I don't freaking know, actually. Let's look.
And then, in Florida too, there's supposedly a lot of caves and caverns, and we're like a sandbar.
Right.
Let's go. Let's see if I can open.
I'm still reeling over the cave connection to the national state parks and then the disappearances.
Yeah, that's
still
wild.
over my head.
So this one, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Gosh. So let's just go here. I don't even know what this one is. Oh wow. He went missing in 2006. 8 miles south of Arlington, Wyoming. I don't know if there is. So what I was doing was I was finding out where they were, and then I'd go to another tab and find out if there was a. This is not the one I clicked. Oh, I clicked out of the wrong one. This was the missing person. I did click out of the wrong one.
Man, we went to raise money at a flea market for my boys, Cub Scouts, and they had this wall with missing children from 1994. And it was just a huge wall with all these missing children posters. And it was just, I'm going through them all, and it was depressing. And I couldn't believe how old some of them were. It was wild.
Oh, I think these might be the ones.
So who was the old hag that was talking all that nonsense?
We couldn't get her name.
Yeah, I didn't get her name. I can.
She's
go back.
definitely living in a damn dream world. You think any of that's going to be flying over here? No.
She's pretty open about it, right?
I love how they gas themselves up as if that's going to be a reality and they're not going to burn for this.
Like, excuse me? I would have slapped her.
I would have been laughing hysterically, and I'm like, "Yeah, you think you're serious with it? Are you going to do this?"
That's why they send out the demeaning old lady to deliver that message, right? Because you can't punch her in the face. That's exactly
here. Send Esther. She's stupid enough to read this. She believes whatever. She wants to keep her pension. Esther, go out here and read this. You got to be serious now. Serious face.
So
2023.
I did find this about Shawnee National Forest, where the the forest rangers were pretty much just saying, hey, let's be a little bit more careful. There's too many instances at one time. A 19-year-old woman from Chicago fell and injured her leg and ankle. A few minutes later, a female from Kansas fell and broke her hip. A few minutes after that, they had a child had a heart-related issue. There was something that I tied this to something somewhere, and I don't remember what it was now.
Welcome to my world.
I think maybe
I
this
forgot.
was just
Yeah, I've commonly started a really cool, complicated statement and midway going, oh, fuck, I forgot what I was. And then I was going somewhere great, believe me.
usually. I'll remember when it's over.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, damn it.
I think that was just to show that there are reported incidences that are not severe, and they're like, hey, stuff happens, but it's not like what you think. And then you have your missing people. Same forest. Sorry.
What's the ages? I want to know the ages of missing people. I wonder.
Oh no, bro, they range from infants all the way up to 24.
Yeah, I've heard of crazy stories of the infants and the young ones. Like it's just, and all in these national parks, it's wild. Like it's not happening in areas. I mean,
oh, it's happening in these streets too, boy. Ladies,
oh yeah,
get
yeah.
yourself a gun. I'm telling you, I tell all my lady friends, oh, you need this. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Real
that
fast.
has to be this way. Get a gun. Carry it with
hold
wherever you
on,
go.
hold on. You tell me get a gun, but by the time I get that gun out of my purse, somebody's already got my little ass snatched.
Look,
so
I get it. There's what if situations.
Put it on your hip.
There's what if situations, but the fact that it is
Quick
there
draw.
for you to grab to, you'll be surprised how when your adrenaline kicks in, that survival mode kicks in, and I could tell you're a fighter. You're gonna, you especially if your babies are there. Oh yeah, you're gonna grab.
You don't even got to pull it out of the.
Know that you can.
Listen, I was
shoot through the purse.
I was
She gonna through? Yeah, shoot him through the purse. Exactly. Just pick it up.
raised
With the purse
Never
in
even have it cock it right in there.
Yeah, like Desperado, how you got the guitar,
the suitcase, the guitar case,
the suitcase.
Yeah.
Gangsta classic.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm sorry, I've just been not paying attention.
No, you're good. I think Dave S over on Rockfin just dropped a $10 tip over there saying free sky. That's right.
Nice.
Thank you. And Andrew B, we're going to be hosting a trivia coming up soon over on the Melodome, and it's going to be raising money for a couple people, and Skylar and Jessica is going to be one of them. I think we're going to try and raise some money for someone else too, but we got to hang out and talk.
Yeah. If it's what I think you're talking about, that's already apparent.
Well, hey, I'm gonna bounce real quick. I got stuff to do around the house, but
Okay.
good to see you going on this, Jessica. I hope to see you doing it all the time now. And if you ever need help, we'll always be around. Thanks everyone for chilling and letting us hang out.
Thank you.
You're the man, Shane. Appreciate you, man. Shane St. Pierre, guys, he got a lot of great stuff over on the Rockfin channel. Shane St. Pierre.
Yeah, I caught their the space audits last night. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're next level. I gotta listen to him a couple times, especially when he does those epic presentations.
I wish I could find the map that I made, because I went and I pinpointed everybody on it that not from the Doe Network. It was from the FBI, and I think I saved it on a different account. I think that's the problem. So
this is where Telegram would come in handy if you had your own little folder on there.
I know it. If I could get anything to work correctly all at the same time. If it I finally had a good day the other day. Kids didn't scream when we woke up. We had breakfast on time. Baby went down for a nap on time. Like, everything was on schedule. Said, all right, we got to go to the store. We need diapers. Put the kids in the car. I start the car and it's not turning on.
Oh yeah,
she said,
damn.
Click,
you said
click,
the
click,
starter,
click,
right?
Click, 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 click. just didn't
yeah.
and the Riker, he doesn't talk. Okay, he does not talk at all. I love him, and he's doing great. He's 4.5, and he's playing Mario Kart.
Nice.
No controls on it, like, smart control or anything. Like, he's playing the game. Like, he's taking first on the races. Like, he's going. But he doesn't talk. He won't say, "Hey, Mom, I want this." He just looks at me and just screams. So when that car didn't turn on, he just screamed for probably 30 minutes. And I had to, like, pull him out of his car seat, and he's laying in the driveway just screaming and throwing it. Neighbors are coming out of the house, and I'm just like, the baby's just running down the driveway. It was a whole thing.
Kids are fun.
Oh, yeah. Emmett has started climbing absolutely everything, and then he goes, "Yump," and then jumps. So that's been fun. If I can find... So what's up with you, Chris? How have you been?
Been fantastic. Been pacing myself. I have a bad habit of filling up my plate with projects and things to do, and then then I stress myself out, and then I calm myself down, and then I do it all over again.
I don't know why that's there.
But yeah, things are doing good though. No complaints. Finally on the upswing of the year 2023 is going swimmingly for me. Finally, and I know can't say the same for everybody, so I'm trying to give out that good energy to everybody else needs it. Don't worry, you'll make it. Speak good things about yourself and think the good things. Catch those negative thoughts and impulses when they come in, and you'll be amazed on such a small scale how your life can change by just controlling those intrusive thoughts and your behavior patterns, and everything kind of falls into place. It's remarkable. And I'm still on that tip. You already know that. Big simulating evidences since I've been expanding and looking for more collective information and opinions and observations. And it seems to be the same tale across the board. What you focus on is your reality. And don't try to focus on too many things at one time. You don't want to stretch yourself out too thin. It happens to all of us, to the best of us, no matter who you are. Very great that you're on here. Excellent. Keep it going. This is going to be, I'm surprised I didn't think you was having a Friday. I didn't even see the date that it was the 6th already, which is a special day today. That just, you would do this out of all day, the 9 and the 6. And of course, the 3 all the way at the end too. So you have that. You have all the special Tesla numbers on your very first hosting show in the Tribune. Yes.
While we're on the topic, something crazy happened to me the other day. I had a dream that it was, why is it? Oh, I'm not clicking on the right thing. Yeah. I had a dream about something.
Oh, that's good. Dreaming's good.
October. Okay. So for some reason, I had a dream about October 19th. Like, that date came out.
Oh, that's my brother's birthday. That's funny.
I
Sorry.
thought it was really weird. I was like, I don't understand what the significance of October 19th is. So we're gonna go back on a journey again.
Oh, I'll ask my brother when I see him. Anything happening on his birthday? He's into witchcraft and wizardry and all types of fun words to say from all types of different occultic backgrounds that he dives in and even practices with. The stuff that I'll talk about, won't do myself. I do have a family member that does, and we don't talk much. So I don't know if it has something to do with that or not. Or he's on his own little path of fate and destination. I don't know. I just know we're all on our own little individual rides, no matter how close you are to each other, family or not. And hopefully, eventually we all come back around with our gained quest completed and experience, kind of share, trade ideas and thoughts, especially with dreams. Dreams are important, especially when you can't remember them. But the fact that you do remember having them, for me, dreams are very significant, even though we don't coherently understand them in this form. Just like we probably don't understand what the hell's happening here in the dream world, because nothing makes sense. So I like to think,
I can't even remember my own dreams. Damn it!
It just depends.
I know I'm dreaming, just can't remember them.
I think it just depends on your mindset when you're going to sleep. Have you had sugar? Have you had caffeine? Or how tired are you really?
I blame the THC.
That too.
It's a little bit of everything, yeah. Or whatever you put into you and consume, no matter you smoke it, inhale it, bathe in it, digest it, whatever, you're changing your frequency with everything you consume. Which is why, for me, simulation is such a big deal, because you will experience a wider variety of experience in this reality if you tune to your own frequency. But it's not the same for everybody. There's not
Let's
like
fight
a
about it, bro.
catch-all. Yeah, I don't think there's a one way, like one correct way. Just like there's a lot of ways to fail, there's a lot of ways to succeed. And even in the word failure, it's just in itself temporary delay of succeeding.
Right? Everything's delayed satisfaction.
Delayed gratification.
So
there you go.
I looked it up. I was like, what is significant? Like, there's got to be something. And maybe this came to me because I was a history buff in school. So like I aced everything I could, just because I don't know, that's just what I did. Other girls were good at, being pretty, and I was good at being smart.
You're pretty. Don't do that.
I'm pretty now. I'm pretty now.
Were you ugly duckling in school?
I was a mousy kid. I've always been underweight. I was raised by my dad. My dad didn't teach me how to take care of myself. My mom was missing, and I had the world's worst stepmother. So like, she was jealous of me, and it was just a whole thing. So I didn't, and I still don't wear makeup. I don't go get my nails done. You can see they're covered in dirt right now, actually, because I garden every day.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't wear shoes often, unless I have to. But
shoes are unnatural. Clothes are unnatural.
This, and I remember after I saw it, I was like, oh, I remember learning about this battle when George Washington won the Battle of Yorktown. And they said that talk about the American Revolution assuring America's independence. Now, what do we know off the top of our head what year the Declaration of Independence was signed?
1776, I believe.
Yeah, okay. July 3rd.
So
July 4th.
Tell me why, after we'd already declared that we had independence, did we have another war to assure our independence?
Did we have another war to ensure independence?
That's what this is. That's what happened in October 19th, 1781, is that George Washington defeated Cornwallis at the Battle of Yorktown, and I believe that was the one where he went over the. I wish it would give me
Britain's Lord Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown, Virginia.
I mean, wasn't George Washington victory? I don't want to click on that. That's not what I meant to do. I have contradicting history for him.
Oh, I have contradicting
Just
history for all of history. Yeah,
all of it.
I've kind of thrown it all to the wind now. For me, history speculation at this point.
They taught us that he was the first president, wasn't he? Like this?
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard it. Yeah, exactly.
Or the ninth?
He was. Yeah. So yeah,
okay,
they can't even get their stories.
Is they're saying that he was the first president, and that by him winning that war, he assured our independence. Are you sure we didn't just lose our independence after we had just gained it?
Oh yeah, you know how they like to talk in reverse. Yeah, for sure.
We needed money.
And now here we are, assuming that he was our first president when he absolutely was not our first president.
Only corporations have presidents, right? From day one, we were corporatized. Even back then, I believe they knew they were coming over here to corporatize the quote unquote new land. This was the experiment, right? The great experiment. All nations kind of sent all their unwanted hooligans over here and try to organize them and get them under the dollar, which is Federal Reserve.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I know it's a lot more intricate than that, I'm sure. Many people.
QTA says The War of 1812 is very interesting. So much is covered up about it. 1776 is interesting too. We shoot things at the firmament and declare we are free. Independence from what is the wild part. Good Times for All says, I think in 1776 we declared independence, but we didn't win it until 1783, according to his story. He is the first U.S. president. Before that, it was Continental Congress.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. All right. That sounds right. It's been a long time since I've looked.
Nice little history lesson.
Tired of presidents, man. Let me try something else. We need to mix this shit up over here in America. Americans mix this shit up. Try something else out. It don't gotta be one of the isms everybody's afraid of, because it ain't nobody like anything, but this capitalism shit ain't working out. And that's all I know. Whatever, y'all don't like nothing else, fine. We need to do something else though. All right, at the very, very least, if we're gonna keep it with capitalism, we need to put just like there's a minimum wage, there needs to be a goddamn maximum wage.
It can never be.
You're greedy. If people want to disagree with that are greedy. That period. There's no argument for it. You can't tell me I can't have $1 billion. You could buy anything with a few $1 million, literally anything, and then live the rest of your life not working that hard, if at all. So at a certain point, whatever that number we all collectively agree it would be, 500 million, 800, whatever. There's a number where at this point you don't need any more. Anymore, you're just taking away from everybody else. And, whatever, again, you want to call it communism or whatever isms, that you want to put it in a box and try to put it in. Whatever box we're in now sucks. And it's not fair and it's garbage and it just needs to go away.
I'm going to drop the link again.
And with 2 or 3 companies owning everything, it's not even a real free market.
Because I'm going to be American and I feel like I want to be a Russian. I'm like, at least his president seems cool because he look like he would beat up everybody president.
Think about this, though. I was thinking about this, right? So there's people who don't like the establishment. A lot of us don't like what's going on in the world. And then there's some of us, we're out there, we're calling it communism, fascism, all this stuff. Ran by corporations. But then a lot of these people want to get together and go live on a property together, and you call that a commune. But then what are you practicing on a commune? You're practicing communism. So communism? It's kind of like contradictory. I don't see that being a better alternative to go get land and share it with other people. I'll go get land for myself and my family. But to go start some commune, that's practicing communism, and then there'll be someone in that group that's not picking up their slack, and then that's when the conflict starts. And then
I think there's a middle ground somewhere in there. Honestly, I feel like there's a middle ground between capitalism and communism, because sharing can't be that fucking evil. Goddamn. Yes, there's always
there's people who are lazy.
There's always gonna be lazy people, and there's always gonna be motherfuckers that work too goddamn hard. That's just the way it is. So but if we let the motherfuckers who work too damn hard get all the damn money by tricking all the other dumb, lazy motherfuckers, we're going to end up right back here. so we got to avoid that crap too. It's not about, if I make $1 billion, I should be able to keep it. What? When literally, you know what? You can have $1 billion when we figure out how to feed everybody.
Chris, hold on. Why is it my problem that they're too dumb to make enough money?
Because if you're smart enough to figure out how to make a lot of money, then
I'm smart enough to figure out how to make a lot of money. That's not on me that you guys can't.
High compassion, I would imagine most intelligent people have high compassion as well.
Well, yeah.
For us to say we're so intelligent that these dumb motherfuckers don't deserve to eat, that's some
I disagree.
Shit.
I will teach you how to fish. I'm not going to fish for you.
No, I agree. And trust me, them fat bastards are going to end up fishing before it's all over.
It's a slippery slope saying that people can have a cap on how much. Like that's like telling your worth is only.
No, it ain't no slippery slope. Let's say, let's say $1 billion is max. 1 billion. There's nothing on earth that you can't buy multiple goddamn times.
I just would like to see the
money. And again,
gone.
We can push it up, but let's cover all the basics first. Let's feed people, make sure they're sheltered, clean water. After we got the basis of the being just decent human beings,
I think
then we can worry about being stupid rich.
Stop charging for basic human needs.
Right.
Water, food.
Water.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, look how many empty houses there are
of
across
course,
the United States
yeah.
that could be housing. Again, I know a lot of these people put themselves in a situation, but the system is stacked against us. The table is rigged. It's not in our favor. With all these other psyops getting put in play, there's just so many chains, if you will, bound to people that if they just had a little bit of fucking help, it would make.
I fucking know.
It would start an inspiration. I don't know.
I'm in one of those spots. I got nothing.
Right. That's real.
Yes, King.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shane, I
last
will
month
only
it was
speak the
like
truth.
it's just tight. Money's tight. Everything's tight, and these rich little bastards get away with everything. If they just had a little bit.
Oh, I hear echo.
Ooh, Sovereign Soul Unchained.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
Whoa, sorry, I'm choking on myself. What's going on? You can thank Skylar for me for sending all his trolls over to me now.
Somebody's got to handle them. I told him I wouldn't tolerate them.
It's pretty funny. I've been visited quite often. I'm like, whoa, where'd these people come from? Then I found out. I was like, oh, okay. Well, here we go. Another step in the ride, right? So I hope you and Skylar both are doing okay. I know the suckness of that condition as I've experienced it myself in my lifetime. And I know, and just keep in mind, tell him this too shall pass, man. Just like everything else, this too shall pass. So we're just keeping our spirits up for him, and I'm hoping the best for him. So I'm hoping everything's going good, man.
His spirits are up. He's doing well as he can where he's at. We're still waiting for him to be transferred to a prison. He's still in county right now. We have a video call set up for him with a private attorney on a private line so he can discuss whatever he wants to tomorrow, and then we'll see where we're going from there. As of right now, what we were trying to do is get him out on an appeal bond because his appeal is filed.
Right.
I was informed by the attorney that he was not eligible for the appeal bond. So I do not know how accurate that is. I don't know how much he's looked because that was before we discussed things further.
Is that a court-appointed attorney?
It is not. It's a private attorney. So at the sentence hearing, he was denied everything. Like he'd put in the plea withdrawal before the sentence hearing. At the sentence hearing, the judge says, I didn't get anything. I didn't get your memorandum. I didn't get anything. They're like, no. Even his attorney that was representing him then, who was withdrawing, said, no, ma'am, you did receive it. Here it is. Would you like a recess so you can read it? She said, no, we're going to read it right now. Everybody together. She held the court up. She flipped through the pages. She looked at it. She's like, yeah, denied.
Wow.
14 pages of law. Okay, I can't read one paragraph of law in 5 minutes and digest it. I know that's her job. That's what she's been doing, but whatever.
They take advantage of people's ignorance with that stuff, for sure.
Yeah,
she was just she pretended to look it over and gave you like that, and then
she did one of these.
I've already got my mind made up. Screw.
She may have looked it over, but she knows that she has it, and they always they run transit for people.
So
lack of knowledge.
And that was it was crazy. So she denied it, and everybody, the officers standing up there, 2 of the officers standing next to the judge's bench, dropped their head and looked at their feet.
Wow.
Several people, including myself, gasped. I said, I'm gonna pass out. I started seeing stars. Like my ears started ringing. The judge just said, denied. Skylar tried to, with all due respect, Your Honor, I should be, I need to be appointed new counsel, my law, and she said, denied. They ushered him out, and within 2 or 3 minutes, he was fingerprinted in through the door. I said, do I get paperwork? Where's he going? What's going on? They said, you don't do anything. Goodbye.
Wow.
They sent me out of the courtroom. I said, what do you mean I don't do anything? They said, he's going to prison. Goodbye.
Jesus.
So
for how long?
So they have him right now. The plea was 36 months for being in. However, that's not the amount of time he's going to serve.
Yeah. Well, how much? Because he'll get jail time served, and then if he's not getting in fights or anything, he'll get good time.
Yeah, it comes up to like 22 months or something.
Yeah, the year I pulled was actually worked out to be 10 months. because of a good time like that. But if you like Flo says, or should I call you? Yeah, he's Flow State now. He's not. He's not Taylor.
I never use Zoom.
Schizo. You're always changing your name. But yeah, it works out to be that. I think, what is it, like 4 days a month or some shit like that, good time or something like that you get.
I think when I was in jail in Kansas, it was a day and a half for every day good time. It was.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty significant, but Kansas prisons were overcrowded and stuff.
Well, it's all about that bond. That's what they're all into right there. Anybody ever wonder why those judges are always so goddamn rich? It ain't from their pay.
It's
okay.
Also really unfortunate because if he were to be eligible for that appeal bond, the same judge is setting the bond amount. So I don't.
Well, on a lighter note, though, I think that this would be a dream scenario for Brian Staveley. He keeps wanting to lock about 100 people in some place so he can hit them with some truths. I watch this entire cell block end up a bunch of flat earthers, man. They won't know what to do.
Yeah. Gosh. So
he'll be happy when he gets to prison, though. Like, because prison, yeah, much better than county jail. County jail is intentionally uncomfortable. They want you to take a plea deal. And I feel for you. I haven't talked to you, and I think I've only talked to him a little bit, but I've been in the situation that you guys are in, fairly close. So write him letters. Letters are awesome.
Yeah, this jail is so awful. They do not allow physical visitation. The only visitation you get is a 20-minute video call, and he has to be so close to the screen you see like the top of his nose and his forehead, and he's on like this little phone, and it's sad. It's so upsetting, and the kids are.
It's bullshit, but it'll go by. It'll pass, and then y'all's relationship is going to be that much stronger. At least that's how it worked out for me and my girlfriend. So, anyways, I actually came up here though to argue against the socialists.
Yes, please.
Well, go on. You were on something, and I don't remember where I was going to pick up on it though. But you said there was something you had said that cannot be argued against. You recall what it was?
Oh yeah, the money. Yeah, there's a point where greed has to be an issue. It is an issue. That's why we're screwed now, because there's no limit. Because there's no limit, a few people have all the money.
Which is, I don't disagree with that, but greed as what's underlying a philosophy, I think, is exactly my problem with all the isms that call it charity, but what it really is coercion and robbery. Now, the way that all the, because nobody likes the Bill Gateses and, the CEOs, but the way that they were able to amass that much wealth is not through actual free market economics. It's through manipulation of government regulatory agencies. Government is the tool that enables the corporations to get in the spot that they're at, from my perspective. So I don't see how adding more power to the government to take things away from people that they can then redistribute where they see fit. You can't solve the problem. Isn't also the cure. If that makes sense.
I agree. No, I wouldn't give any responsibility. No. Unfortunately, I guess I have to add more detail. All of this new system is on us, more or less.
Oh.
So, at the very least, we got. Oh yeah, no. Destroy all them. Okay. They're all gone. They're all gone.
Well, we might be on the same page then, after all.
No, more than I'm sure we are. You're in the middle. You're over here in Troubling Channel. I'm sure everybody here's on the same page. I'm just not. I don't always clarify when I get all the excited and crap. But yeah, it's just for me. I kind of make it black and white on these extreme areas because I'm like, no, fuck these guys. After we, hate strong words, but yeah, we take care of the troublemakers. Then we can kind of just start from scratch because I think we could do without a president for a good 10 or 20 years. We don't need them. We're good. We're good. We don't need y'all for a while. You can just take a break. We'll take a little little assessment of this relationship we've been doing for the last 100 almost 200 years with this little system. And, we're going to take a break. We're going to cut their paychecks immediately. Any money going out outside of America stops.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ukraine, you're on your own. Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is this? We're taking care of the whole world shit. Nobody's looking out for after us. We just had a fire in Hawaii. Y'all not even going to talk about it? Nah.
$700 a family, I think, is what they got.
Oh, yeah, 17. Either way, yeah, it's ridiculous.
He might have raised it, but
it comes right down to this, though. This is when you take it right down to basics, is that all contracts should be voluntary. Forced contracts are immoral. That's all there is to it. And that's the difference between political socialism and social socialism. In other words, if you voluntarily wish to help your fellow man out or your neighbor, or even if it's based on a sense of nationalism that, hey, he's a fellow American and he's down on his luck, I'm going to help him out. That's your choice. But when it's forcibly taken from you in order to redistribute it, then what you end up with is the graft. The graft always comes in, and you end up in situations where less than a nickel of every tax dollar taken in for welfare actually gets this to the recipients. It's costing over $60,000 a year to keep an unwed mother and her two kids in poverty. You see? And they're getting us maybe $15,000 in food stamps or some shit like that. There's a huge, gross amount of grift and graft involved in this entire system. And there again, it comes down to the human spirit of greed. And so when you don't have any kind of morality to begin with, nothing's off the table.
Or community, right? Like the isms worked in family groups and small communities, but when you have multiculturalism and everybody's included and the whole world is your family, like at that point nobody's your family, so there's a psychological starting point that we just don't have in the modern world.
Well, a big part of the communist agenda too is the dissolution of the family in lieu of
Sophie Lewis.
You can see this if you've ever seen this movie. It's called The Killing Fields, and it's about the Khmer Rouge when they took over in Cambodia, and it was right after Vietnam. And it showed in this thing some of these indoctrination camps, and the kids were calling the shots. And they were like in this classroom, and the teacher had this picture of a house and a mom and a dad and a little kid on the chalkboard. And he called on one of the students, and the student came up there, and where the parents were holding hands with the child, she erased the line and put an X on the house, and then put an X on the parents and sat back down. And this whole thing was the indoctrination of the children. And this is exactly where they start this at, because in just a short period of time, those are going to be the adults. And if their minds are already into this set, that's how it's going to be. So it was concentrating on the dissolution of the family and putting the government in place of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like here, they destroyed the nuclear family. When they were sending everybody off to war, they wanted the women to enter the workforce and leave the workforce, which was responsible at the house. And then the men came back and they doubled the tax income and everything. And the nuclear family was then destroyed, adding in the so-called war on drugs, which was then the war on the people, destroying the foundation. And then the public school systems, it's accountability and responsibility. We gave up our responsibility to educate our children. We gave up our responsibility to feed and fend for ourselves and house ourselves. And then all of these people who keep getting away with shit, there's no accountability. Congress gets to do whatever they want. The hospitals do whatever they want. Nothing's happening.
I don't really think they understand what's going to be happening to them. They got all this money and they got these high titles, and whatnot, sitting up on these chairs, making all these plans. And, secret societies to the side and them thinking 10 years of it. They can think 10, 20 years advance all they want. There's coming to a point where it's going to be a reckoning. How much further can you really push this? Now we know the internet exists now. It's been around for well over 20 years, accessible to most people, if not everybody. More people have phones in houses. We see every bum on the street has a damn phone. So information's out there now. So even the bums on the street can give you their 2 cents.
The government will give you a free phone with service.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
And they
But
messed
here's the
up.
thing with that, though. Here's the thing with the internet. The internet isn't even what it used to be, because now most of the people are in these round pens, these social media platforms. That's not even, I mean, that's not internet. That's these social media platforms where all the information, the algorithm is fed to you a certain way, depending on what you're looking into. It's like they're not even leaving these platforms to find information elsewhere.
And but we're still winning though, because even our
I agree.
tactics are trickling into these spots, and we're not even us doing it. Not even us doing it. The Melodome has clips out there that we don't even know about yet. It's just out there. It's trickling in. Not even their evil algorithm can stop it from happening.
Well, one of the biggest tools used in this, and this isn't my term. I think it was from David Icke, gatekeeper, but it's a great term. It's a great term. And that's a perception deception. Okay. We're inundated with a perception of various individuals in our society. And we respond to it not based on the individual, but based on our perception of that individual. So I can take I could grab a guy off the street. I could give him a script, put him in a suit in front of a bunch of books, give the appearance of smart, put a chyron up there and say this guy's a PhD, and have him read this script. People will buy that based on their perception that this guy is some kind of a scientist or whatever. It even gets into the idea where you can have an article that says, leading scientists agree, top scientists say. You don't have to say who it was, but that's enough. And so when a guy comes up to your car and says, hey, what are you doing? What's your name? If some guy just walked up to you and said that shit, you'd go fuck yourself, right? I mean, excuse the language, but that's what you would say. But if he's got a special little suit on, then your whole attitude is going to change completely. When in reality, he's just another dude, man. He drops trow and takes a dump the same as you do. Nothing special about him. He's a doctor. So
you don't give a fuck about the suits?
No.
I know, man. Same here. I got the biggest problem with authority.
I know.
I was in
all the time in school. You have a problem with authority, and I'm like, look, man, everybody does. You just learn to bury yours. I'm not gonna. That's it. Nobody likes to be told what the fuck to do. They just don't like it. They resent it, and then you get trained to just tolerate it. I've never tolerated it. I hear somebody bark an order, I'm automatically going, what?
I exactly want to do the opposite of what they're telling me not to do. Like
the worst is when they tell you to do something you're already doing, right? Like if somebody's like, oh my God, now I can't do what I was about to do because you told me to.
Yeah, right. I was gonna do it.
I tell you, the very first argument me and Skylar ever had was because he told me I could not ride my longboard in the street in the middle of the night.
Why would he say that to you though? That makes no sense at all.
It's what was midnight?
It was like 2 or 3 a.m. We weren't here. We were doing our thing. We'd probably like 2 or 3 months together. Had one dog, just us, and I was riding my longboard in the middle of the road, just having the time of my life, walking the dog. He's like, you can't walk my dog in the middle of the road in the night. Like, what are you talking about? There's no one awake. That was it. And that's how I just said, you know
Everybody's gonna see you on their Ring cameras in the morning.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that said, what do you mean I can't do this at night? I'm going to do this every night for the next month.
I did. I handed the leash handed Tylee's leash to him. I looked him dead in his face, and then I just left him. I just went longboard. I was like, you can stay here. I'm gonna do me.
Tomorrow night we're gonna have a half pipe in the street.
Dave Mayer is gonna come. Tony Hawk.
I did the suit thing when I used to be a banker. I had fun. I wore a suit every day, and so if I was across the street, there's a hospital, and if I went over to the hospital in the suit, I would just start wandering around the halls and restricted areas and stuff, just to see. Right.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what the suit could let you get away with. Nobody would ask me what I'm doing there, who I was. People would, every single person, doctors, everybody would defer to me. They'd move out of my way and they'd say, hi, sir. You know, that sort of shit is. I'm just a douchebag in a suit.
you add a clipboard to that and you won't get questioned at all. Because
I don't think so. I think
an
a briefcase maybe, but a clipboard and a suit, that there's a clash.
Yeah, like a little binder, just every so often make a notation like that.
Yeah. What are you doing? Just ask random questions to people walking by. What are you doing? Where are you going?
When is the last time you changed your gloves?
Right. Just that, and they're not going to question it. They're going to say, "Oh, this guy's some kind of authority figure."
Where do you keep your Vicodins, please?
Hey guys, I'm gonna get up out of here. Dinner's ready. Family just walked in with some food. So Mrs. Tribune, epic stream. Definitely looking forward to more of these. Chris, my brother, Sovereign Soul Unchained, and Flow State, bro. I like you, man. I'd like to see some more of you out there, man. Much love. Everybody in the chat, peace and love. I'm out.
Bye. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Austin, good to see you, man.
Thank you all for coming on, actually, because
it's all good.
Well, you did good.
I have incredible
OBS is kind of a nightmare. Like, I don't.
It is.
Well, it's not so much the system. Like, I'm fine operating everything off the camera. The second I know somebody is watching me, I'm shaking, I'm panicking, like I can't.
It's not just one somebody, it's like 60 of them.
Yeah, 68 somebody's plus someone Rockfin. I don't know. I haven't even looked at Rockfin. I'm terrified.
Let me see how it's shaking.
I tell you,
it's fine.
I did a competitive chorus and band in high school, and I had a solo that I was supposed to do, and I didn't practice for it. I had 6 or 7 months that I was supposed to practice for a blind audition solo. The judges wouldn't see me. I'm going to go in this room. I'm going to stand in front of a white screen with my pages, and I'm going to look at the composer. She's going to nod her head, and we're going to go. I got in there. I said, bye. And I just left. I left. My chorus instructor was so mad. He was counting on me to get us all to state.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't even try. I was like,
Yeah, I bet he was mad.
He's whatever.
My high school cross country. I only ran cross country 1 year in high school, and I hated it. It's the stupidest part of a sport ever. It's not even a full sport. You just run.
I wish I would.
But I was really good at it though, and when I quit, I'm 4 years older than my little brother. At my little brother's graduation, 8 years after I had ran cross country, he was still, when I said hi to him at the graduation, he just started bitching at me. You never did anything I wanted you to do. Blah, blah, blah. Dude, I was on your newspaper staff for like all of high school. Oh yeah, you were. You didn't give a fuck.
What made him so sad? Goodness. I don't like people like that. I don't like people who are always just negative Nancy's.
Well, I mean, if I were the cross country coach and I had, myself wrapped up into it, then I could see why. I was I would be mad at me too if it mattered to me, but it didn't matter to me. I didn't want to just run for 5 miles a day, and I wanted to smoke cigarettes and talk to chicks.
That was it.
I am gonna try and wrap this up soon, though.
I was a band geek.
Well, thanks for having me on, Dave. Good to see you again. FMX. Our debate wasn't very debatey, so.
Oh no. yeah, you'll find out about me. I say a lot of crazy shit, but I'm not the best debater and everything. I'm not good.
I mean, it turns out that we actually agree very much. When I hear people, socialism's so trendy, and I've got an economics degree, so I understand the mechanics, I think, better than most people who are, promoting things out of sentiment more than understand the mechanics of it. And so when I hear things on panels that are open, I'm like compulsive about joining.
No, I hear you. No, I on paper, capitalism, socialism, all the isms sound like they should freaking work. But we live in a reality where ain't none of the isms work. I want to burn it all down. I'm more of an anarchist, I guess I've been told. I would burn it all down because we'll be okay. We built this place. We'll rebuild it better. We'll really build it back better because we're the ones doing it. Right. And then we just leave. Oh, but we can't take the lackeys with us, the politicians, the CEOs of companies. That I don't care what people think about them. They're not good people. As far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as a good billionaire because all of them have the physical capacity to at least end world hunger, at least in America. It's been statistically, mathematically already planned out. It can be done. It could be done.
I don't know that I think that there is hunger in America. really.
Oh yeah, nigga, I'm hungry.
Right?
I'm hungry as shit.
But yeah, I think that we've effectively ended hunger in America, unless you've got like some serious mental health issue. Like, but lack of food availability is not why.
No, it's not yet. I mean, no, not the lack of food.
Lack
It's
of
them pricing
nutrition.
everything out. Yeah, and nutrition. Yeah, it's them devaluing the nutritious value in the food,
Well,
and on top of that, making it so expensive that we can't even afford basic food anyway. Eggs is goddamn $6 and shit. And like that. It's just
Taco
crazy.
Bell's like $12. I used to be able to feed the whole family for $12 at Taco Bell, and
Yeah. Well,
now it's
Flo,
like
did you
two
say you
chalupas
had,
and a drink.
you said you had a degree in economics? Is that
Mm-hmm.
you know, you could actually go to school now and take a degree in electrical engineering and you'll fly right through it. You will fly right through it because it's exactly the same. I'm not
But
kidding.
I hate school.
Oh, I do too. I don't like
That's
that
the problem.
structured
When I
crap,
look,
man.
when I was in their situation, my lawyer told me at the time, he said, when you're done with this, you need to go to law school. I said, I don't want to go to school anymore. I'm done with that forever. But I was like, can I just take the bar? I can pass the test. If you give me the book, I can teach myself and I can pass. That's how I got through all of school before, was teaching myself. So, but you can't do that. You can't do that with the CPA. You can't do that with the bar. You can't do that with any sort of advanced degree. You have to go to the institution. You have to pay the money. You have to get the loans. You have to become an indentured servant to the system.
I hear a lot, and especially in the flat earth community from our detractors all the time, these people, when they say, you need to be educated.
Right.
That right there is a big red flag to me because that
ironic as fuck. That's exactly the problem with you.
You know, I'm going, wait a second. Okay. I immediately think of re-education camps, right? And I'm like, what is education really? Does that mean knowledgeable? Does that mean that you're learned? No, it doesn't. To me, to be educated means I took my brain out and I gave it to somebody for a number of years, and then I became retarded. That's basically what the whole situation is, because there's no verification of any of it is true. Of course, it's going to appear true if you follow this line of bullshit thinking, right? But if you try to explore outside of that, well, you're going to fail. You're not going to make it through their gradient system, you see? And then comes the part where a guy gives you a piece of paper and says, hey, congratulations, now you're smart. I'm smart because I memorized and regurgitated the bullshit that you told me? Really? Wow, thanks. You know, to be able to take the information and weave it into a cohesive idea and actually run it out and play it in your mind.
That's exactly what you're being trained not to do, though. It's the Prussian education system. They didn't want creativity, independent thinking, it's obedience, truth comes from authority.
I literally got grounded one time because I didn't do my homework how I was supposed to do my homework.
Did your parents check your homework?
I got in trouble by my parents because I didn't do them. Like, my dad is he's a terrible teacher.
Were they looking at it independently, or did the teacher contact them like, she's not doing what we tell her to?
Okay,
because I've gotten those calls too.
It was I finished my homework in class type of kid. So when I came home and I said I don't have homework, my dad didn't believe me. So he would make me have homework. And he's like, okay, well, he just makes stuff like, well, it's in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book. That was his help, was it's in the book. I said, Dad, they told us to get on the computer and to ask your parents for help. He said, it's in the book. All right. So you
must be considerably younger than me, because it wasn't the books for us. I'm 36, but for my daughter who's 13, it's not in the book. I'm like, well, where's your book? She's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was the generation. I'm 27. I was the generation of moving to computers. They told us in my generation, well, you're not going to have calculators in your pocket, but then at the same time, we're going to learn how to type because we're not doing cursive anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
And what you're from Missouri?
Yes.
What part? I'm from Kansas City.
Pierce City, little bitty tiny town next to Joplin, Monette.
Okay.
It's literally it's probably about an hour from Joplin. I was actually there when that tornado hit. Not in Joplin, but Pittsburgh, Kansas. was where I was living when that happened. But the 4 states is my little area. My grandfather is put his roots in Elbing, and I wish that he would have been able to do more with that, but that town never took off. It died.
Yeah, you were right above a bunch of caves then.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about, doing the homework the way that they, doing the math or whatever, the way they tell you to do it.
Yeah,
I remember one time my dad just cracked up laughing when he got the call because they'd given us some test. And I remember it was a math test and they said, show your work. Well, I was doing the shit in my head, right? And I wasn't going to write all that crap. I didn't want to do it. So when it said to show your work, all I did was draw like a silhouette of my head with a little silhouette of my brain inside of it. And I had a little arrow that says me, and then an arrow to the brain said my brain working out this problem. And that's all I put. And when my dad found out about that, he laughed his ass off. He said, well, that's how he did it. You wanted to show his work. There's how it was done.
I wish my parents were more supportive. My dad was all, the teachers are right. Listen to your teacher. It's garbage.
No, that's old school way.
Yeah, I can't blame him. He really didn't have parents to teach him either. They just kind of let him to his own devices. So, but
I heard once that everybody's fucked up by their parents, and then everybody fucks up their kids.
Well, I say all the time, if your kids aren't in therapy by 30, you haven't done your job right.
I don't go to therapy.
So I'm always telling my kids that when I'm fucking with them.
Because who trusts these fucking quacks? Why would you trust these quacks?
Oh my God. Break it down. You ain't got room on the road. The therapist, the rapist. No, I'm not going there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't trust these people. I don't trust doctors fucking with my brain or with my body.
Gosh, I got a whole stream on that alone.
Right. Tell me your most intimate secrets, and I'll extort you.
Right. My theory.
That's what I see.
My theory on psychiatrists and psychologists is this: these are people that know they're fucked up, right? And so they're trying to fix themselves without having to go to somebody to get fixed. Because damn near every one of them I've known was crazier than a loon. My
suicide rate amongst them.
Yeah, an ex-girlfriend of mine, her mom was a therapist, right? And so she was always trying to dissect me and shit, right? And one day I just told her, I says, Karen, my mind is like a bad neighborhood. Don't go there alone.
They might steal your rims.
Right. No, it's a bad place, man. I don't even want to, and I've been to the hospital before, not for myself, but other people, or I'm sitting outside the place and I'm watching the people coming out. And I see very few healthy looking people coming out of that building, including the staff. When I see nurses that are 250 pounds and they're in charge of people's health, are you kidding me?
That's my type of huge woman.
They have the rules.
I mean, what I'm saying, though,
that doesn't mean they have to follow them.
Wait. How are you representing health at all, man?
Was it
pharmaceuticals?
State Attorney General, a transgender guy or woman or something like that?
I know. What a clown show. The
national not one of the good ones either.
Rachel Levine.
Thank you.
It's not even like a halfway convincing one either.
No, this is the one that makes you throw up.
But neither was Barbara Bush.
I'm
the older one.
Just glad
wait a
minute.
No she got something because they still have her on the oatmeal box, man.
That like Aleister Crowley's granddaughter or some shit.
It's Aleister Crowley.
Oh yeah, straight up Aleister Crowley. He finally did it. He transgendered over.
Yeah, it's been him the whole time. He's a satanic wizard. He just lives a long time. He put in drag.
It was Jack Parson brought him back. That's what happened.
Right.
Took his place.
But yeah, therapists or psychiatrists have approximately the same suicide rate as schizophrenics, which is huge above the general population.
Yeah.
Now I will say though, even though y'all don't support therapists, mental health is very important. And if you don't go If you
Go
don't go
ahead.
see at particular any therapist, there are free ones out there you can talk to, and you don't have to divulge all your evil, dirty secrets. Matter of fact, I encourage you not to, as someone who does seek therapy, because I have also come from a certain type of background, which and it is nice to get a professional's opinion, and like it or not, even though they don't necessarily believe in all the crazy things that we subscribe to, they are some tactics that total strangers can at least share with you that other people probably around most people's community don't have access to those type of professions. So there is a place, because mental health nowadays it's a new concept, as it were. Back in the dark ages, no one gave a damn about how you were feeling, what made you feel in certain words and this and that, and not to pussyfoot around and make people soft about anything, but there's so little we know about ourselves. It's something most people don't even know who they are, let alone where they live. So when they come from already a messed up background and they never gain any traction, getting any friends, or becoming a social butterfly, it can really fuck with people's heads. And I've seen people, really torment themselves because they feel like they have no friends, and they don't understand. It's not that they don't have any friends or their family don't love them, that we're all going through the same shit. And I think everybody needs to be reminded that nobody's out here experiencing something else that somebody isn't. We just all deal with it and cope with it differently.
That's a good point. I'm glad that you balanced us out some.
That's what I do.
What we do, FMX, I mean, there's this really terrible malady that a lot of people are suffering from that causes them to think that for some reason that they're a monkey on a spinning water ball rocketing through some kind of a void or something. And we try to bring these people back to reality in our own way, every day. Every day, that's what we do. So yeah, mental health is. And first step of that is to stop believing crazy shit. I mean,
that helps.
Any psychologist will tell you.
I will admit a funny little story. One of my therapy sessions earlier this year, we were starting to get to know each other. This is like the third or fourth session in, pretty early in, started asking me what is my channel about. And he heard me refer to it a couple times. I'm like, oh, things, weird things. So eventually I had to come out and kind of tell me, like, what, can I subscribe to it? I was, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sure. And I sent him the link, and then we started talking about it. And then about at least a good 15 to 20 minutes of my paid session, because I was willfully paying at the time, that it became me basically playing him so I could flat smack him. So but I caught him. He was like, huh, that's gonna make sense. I quickly my quick one, my 3 is the moon, upside down water. It's practical evidences for me. I love that we have a Witsit on our team. Is our golden child right now, the main gold buster we got right now since Bob's not here. But for me, I don't need to go that hard when I do my small debates, the rare times I actually have them, because if you can't show me any of the fucking crap you believe in, you're not going to have me using my imagination as evidence for your argument. And that's what the ball has for me. Very simple debating with me. And that you can show me any of the shit you believe. I can show you water in a closed container with dirt and shit, and it will grow fucking leaves and microbiomes. Its own little biosphere happen within a few days and weeks. You can't do that. And there's no even half model of a globe, of a demonstrable one, a testable one, of anyone. It's all on paper and imagination, and now computer screens. So for me, I kind of stop globies nowadays discussion. If you can't show me any of the shit you believe in, there's no point of us having any quote unquote debates, because you're going to tell me, well, you're going to imagine and Mac Wayne this and this guy over here who I never met. That's not evidences. That's you talking to me about things that sound good. It's not real. It's not fucking anything. Yeah, get the hell out of here. I can show you things. I can go you to the beach and watch the boat disappear, and then pull out all my P900 and then bring that shit back in. We could do that. And then we could go on different times of days during different seasons and see the different refractions and the flipping upside down and the causes for it. We can do controlled experiments, a whole bunch of cool shit we do a flat earth. That's why it's easy to be a flat earther. We can do shit with it.
But look, thank you to India. That shit made it so much easier. I did a panel last night. Not my channel's not about flat earth. I don't try to sell people that it's not. That's not my fault. It's too much of a headache. But I brought up on the panel a video of a NASA astronaut or somebody from NASA talking about India's moon landing, right? And beside it had a video of the shuttle, little moon thing, the computer or the calculator graphic little rocket ship landing on the moon. I said, this is how you know it's all bullshit because here's our NASA supporting this joke, and everybody's like, wow, I guess you can't argue with that. It's just crazy. It almost gaslights me. It's almost like they want us to not believe that we landed on the moon now, don't they? Because that's the only reason that they would put this bullshit out.
Right.
Well,
they know what year it is. They know what goddamn year it is.
Oh,
They're going to wait to 2069. It's going to be a whole 100 years later, and they're still going to give us some black and white grainy footage. Oh, there you go. It's the moon. Now we're on the east-west side of where China went.
Here's a camera of the wing that's obstructing everything that you could see.
Yeah, half the video, right, is a wing or a hose, or I'm like, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing too: is Don Pettit should be extremely elated right now because that technology that they lost, it looks like India found it. That technology that we lost, and it's a painful process to build it back. It looks like India had it the whole time because
yeah, no problem, right?
Too bad we lost our Rosetta Stone, so we don't know how to learn Indian now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Oh, incidentally, back in the day, those guys that came up with that program, Rosetta Stone, right? They were students right here at JMU, and I was a resident of Harrisonburg at the time. And I like to think that I kind of helped along with that with some marijuana that I supplied to those guys while they were working on that project, man. So
see, by the time I came along, I was supplying the colleges with Adderall. That was the
yeah.
You got it's for the party kids and it's for the nerds. It's for everybody. Just kidding. I feel like I probably shouldn't have just said that,
but I'm looking at this though too.
To my agent, I'm joking.
What's the level of real? I mean, you can regurgitate shit all the time. So a friend of mine, he had to go over to the university. He got contracted for a job. They wanted him to paint these yellow lines. You paint the edges of the steps, these stone steps. They'd been there for 150 years, right? Wanted them to paint those yellow because students were tripping on them, right? So he painted them, and he was sitting across the street in his van having lunch, and he watched, and these students, the paint was dry. They're walking up the steps and still tripping over them. It wasn't because they couldn't see him. It's because everybody's looking at their damn phone. But that's the thing. They would come in and still every day trip on the same freaking steps because they can't pull themselves away from that thing. But they had, I mean, if you really have to go through that trouble to tell people where the edges of steps are at, there's a problem, man. There really is something you've physically done your entire life, and hopefully, and now you have to be given yellow.
And that's why I don't think we'll ever have a grid down situation, because without electricity, how are we going to know what to be scared of?
Right, I agree. I think they're too pussy to press that button. Yeah, they can trick everybody else into thinking like, oh, doomsday, rockets, nukes, and all this stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, you go turn off the electric, huh? And who's going to do everything? You, the few people you tell about what your evil little plan. Are they going to do it all? Because the infrastructure is too big. Even if you try to depopulate 90% of us, you can't do it. It's too many. It's too big.
Break out the Morse code. Somebody Morse code our other base.
Well, yes. Set the fire.
Fun fact: my great grandfather went to college for Morse code.
For what?
To learn Morse code because he was he worked on the railway as a communicator, and then he later ran the grain elevator for town. But that's what he did.
Is Morse code and Braille somehow correlated?
Bro, I swear I was thinking it's something like that, bro.
Yeah, I mean they look the same, don't they, on paper?
Yeah, it's like a printable version of Morse code, right?
Dude,
like a printable version.
Like you can kind of speak Morse code too, right?
Kind of.
He's going to hear.
It's been since I think the last time I used Morse code was 1984.
I knew you.
How old are you? That was the oldest sounding thing I've heard all day.
Well, he went to school with Jesus, so.
Well, yeah, I did. He was in class just before me. But no, for real, it was
let them know the redcoats were coming.
Fort Gordon, Georgia, and I'd have to really brush myself back up on it and have to, get back into it because we learned it but never really had to use it. And it was at Signal School at Fort Gordon, Georgia. And let me tell you something, that will drive you nuts because all we did was sit all day with these freaking headphones learning right? And even our cadence when we marched coming back was 1, 2, 3, 4, da da dit. What? Okay, so one day I was sitting there, I knew I was going mad because it was a Saturday. There was no school or anything. And I'm sitting on a picnic table out in the sun drinking a beer, and I hear a woodpecker in the forest, and I find myself trying to figure out what he's saying. And I'm like, wait a second. All right, stop. Just stop.
Did he say anything?
No, he
Yeah,
said,
what was he saying?
You call your name? I've been watching you.
it was
I've been trying to get a hold of you with your car's extended warranty.
Shoot your toe off, get honorable discharge.
Those extended warranties are what paid for India's moon landing. So I hope y'all know that. And those of you helped out.
That was the refurb.
God damn. I laughed my ass off about that. I was like, no, I guess we're gonna have what, a 7-Eleven on the moon. It won't be long.
I just shared that meme. That's funny.
Did somebody make a meme of that already?
Yeah, oh yeah, it exists. There's a couple different versions.
Of course they did.
Look at him acting like he hasn't seen the meme.
I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't seen the 7-Eleven. I did see.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty funny. It was the radio chatter, but it was just these from some Indian taxi drivers yelling at each other. Going, no, get her mother. No, you.
So and in the headquarters for the Indian Space Agency, they've got like stock footage of people like cheering at something.
Yeah. That's all it takes. That reaffirm. Well, see, emotion is real big in selling any of these lies, whether it's a false flag or whatever case may be. Emotion is a key thing in there, because if you can override logic with pathos, if you can take that out of balance and get people to operate from a place of feeling, there's more believability within it. You see, it obscures the logos of it. So when you see the idea of some kind of a tragedy that happens, when they're more focused on the victims' families and showing you crying people, although that's an important part of the story, when they focus on that more than the actual event itself, then you know that there's a red flag there.
When they start selling the emotion.
You like the emotion?
No, Lord no.
Oh, okay.
So Skylar's background is my background. I have 8 years of sales marketing experience. I used to do door-to-door sales. Knock on your door, say hi, how are you?
Would you like to buy these knives?
No, vacuum, water vacuum. We sold rainbows.
You know what? I went through the training thing for that, and then they wanted us to all get in the van and go to Jefferson City, and I was in Columbia. I was like, no, I can drive myself. I'm not getting in your freaking van. No.
Yeah, it's really
that was the deal breaker.
Sketchy, like it's a legit job. Like you make good money doing it, but to achieve the work,
terrorizing old people.
Yeah. Listen,
ma'am, we can't leave until you buy this $3,000 vacuum cleaner. And if you keep resisting, I'm going to have to get more people in here to stay.
If you didn't like it, I didn't care. I'd leave. I didn't have. Yeah, I don't want to waste your time. You don't have to waste mine. Like, bye. I was very forward with it. I'm like, hey, this is how it works. This is what it does. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'll take it with me and clean my house. But now that you know that's there, you have to live with that. And then I just leave like one little square on their floor, in the middle of their floor, the most traffic spot, the cleanest spot in the house. And then I just leave.
Yeah, there you go. Now, if you want to clean the rest of the floor, you'll have to buy this thing. So
yeah, that's what we were taught to do, is to get the most traffic spot, make it, just really sell the emotion. They taught us to say a phrase 18 or more times. That is light brainwashing to the customer. That's why in infomercials that are ran longer, they're like, buy now, buy now, buy now. Like all that other crazy stuff. It's subtle ways that marketing gets the consumer to just make it think it's their decision.
An impulsive buy.
If you go back to when, you remember when Jimmy Hoffa, you probably don't, you've heard about it. For a lot of you, it's a historical thing, but I remember when Jimmy Hoffa came up missing. I lived in the area of Jimmy Hoffa. There was search parties everywhere. Even in my neighborhood, they excavated some shit looking for him.
That was the union boss, right?
Yeah. Jack Nicholson played him in a movie called Hoffa too, and I can pick out every inaccuracy of that movie.
I feel that
as it's playing along. What I was getting at was they were talking about it on the news and how they sell shit with emotion. And they had the wife on there grieving, talking. And I remember this because my little brother, he was sitting right in front of the TV and that was on. And he turned around with tears in his eyes and said, "We're never going to see Jimmy Hoffa again." He didn't even know who the hell Jimmy Hoffa was, but it affected him to that point. These emotions will actually permeate through that screen into you. And now, especially with the perfected taking you into an alpha wave brain state, they've really got you there.
I tell you, I know shows are really, really good about doing that, but you got to find the right show to give you the right message.
Right.
Like what?
Gosh, I'm gonna blast myself right now. I watch anime, a lot of it, because I don't like American shows. They're stupid.
Because you're a nerd, we get it.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called now. Vinland Saga. It is about this little boy watching his dad. Like it starts with settlers. It's kind of like the Vikings, like the Japanese story of the Vikings, the Norsemen. The little boy decides to jump on the ship with his dad, who had to go to war, and then he sees his dad get killed, and then it's just this boy is on a ship away from his home in Iceland, and he's like 6 years old, and now he's just on the ship with the guy who killed his dad at his mercy, and then that show takes off. You learn, like, he goes through the hero's journey, and when I tell you, I can't tell you any more about the show, I'll ruin it, but you have to watch it.
I won't, because I don't like anime.
What's
but
it called?
I am curious what they were trying to. Was there an idea that they were trying to tie in with the emotion? Because when I watch TV now, everything looks like they're selling a narrative or an idea.
Okay,
right?
So it doesn't sell sex. It doesn't sell like some crazy. It makes you work through your own ideal of what correct morals are.
It doesn't steer you there?
No, yes and no. It doesn't make anything good. It doesn't make anything bad. It just shows what is, and you're able, it at least with me, it helped me introspect a lot on how I saw the world and how I see things, and it's helping me be a better mother, because I was never taught how to be in a certain way.
Right.
So that's, I mean, and typically I'm not saying it's like and it's not a kid's show. It's not a kid's show. There's a lot of violence. But it's
my
good.
Daughter's always watched whatever. It's
definitely good. I don't recommend watching anything anime in English. You just don't do it. If you don't want to watch it in English, don't watch. Or if you don't want to read subtitles, don't ruin it, because the translation is not there. It's not the same story. They change it a lot.
But you want to hear the English
when it comes down
No.
to it?
Yeah, I'm not reading all that.
If I want to read a book, I'll buy it.
Sometimes their voices, they be screaming,
Are you kidding?
Okay.
I prefer hearing Japanese over English. I don't know.
You know they be doing that
a lot.
I'll
find some movie or something, and I start watching it, and I see, and at the beginning it might be okay. Maybe this takes place in a foreign country to start with, but then when if I have to keep, I'm not wanting to sit down and read a movie. You know, I'm like missing a whole bunch of stuff. But I dig where you're coming from with the anime. I can understand where that would come from, because there's times, Passion of the Christ is a lot of subtitles in there, because they spoke in the Aramaic for the movie to keep it legitimate. And that one I went through, and it was like, okay, I can dig this one. I've seen it a couple times, and it's very moving. But when it comes down to it,
you're a sadist and you love violence,
and it's exactly what it is. But any kind of sales, a lot of times now, especially, emotion is the best way to do it. Through feelings. It used to be people, a commercial come on, they compare this product with this product, and you could make your own decision, tell them the qualities of this. Now it's all about selling a feeling.
Oh yeah.
Got Matthew McConaughey. They don't tell you anything about the Lincoln. They just show him being all cool and relaxed and saying, I was driving a Lincoln before it was cool to drive a Lincoln,
they don't even have to say what the product does. They can just show Matthew McConaughey.
Yep. I've
I
used
hate. Well, yeah, they be making whole trailers that you think is a movie coming out, and all of a sudden it's a fucking shoe or a fucking laundry basket, and
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Listen, I've used that technique. I used
right,
to,
all
and
right.
don't beat me up for it. I took a job selling timeshares. I'm
Get
a
him,
great
get
seller,
him, get him.
and I quit it
Wait,
because,
so everybody on this panel is a hustler of
well, no, the thing was, is I couldn't do it anymore because it weighed on my soul so much.
Oh yeah.
It really did. But one of my techniques was this: I got the husband riding with me. It was a resort right over here, Massanutten Resort. It's a 4-season resort. They got skiing, there's water, there's hiking, there's everything, right? It's really a pretty cool place.
Look at you selling it.
But the way I would do it is like I would show this to the guy. I got the guy, he's the business guy, and I'm getting him used to saying yes by asking him affirmative questions, constantly getting him used to saying yes and showing him using my pen as a device to point things out like that, so that when I pull it out to sign the papers, it's not a shock. I don't have
I
that.
haven't
Right?
heard that one.
So
Yeah.
what I would do
Oh,
is
yeah.
also as I would go along and I'd say, now, don't you think that your wife is worth something at least this nice? What's he going to do? She's right there. Is he going to say no? Of course he's not.
Oh yeah.
My whole thing was to subtly make him feel like a shit for not getting this for his wife.
We would
Yeah,
start like marital problems just to see them get resolved.
Well, this one time I had a guy, he had just taken advantage of the free weekend. That's how they get you into these timeshare things, right? He had gotten taken in. He just wanted the free weekend. Well, what I didn't know was what he did for a living. So I'm running this along with him and he's going along with it and everything. And I did that same thing to him. We're driving up the road, I remember. And I says, now, don't you think your wife is worth at least something like this? And he just looked at me. He says, well, not until she learns to swallow. And I looked in the rear view mirror and his wife's in the back seat cracking up and shit. He goes, Dave, I got a level with you. He says, I sell timeshares too. I just wanted the free weekend. He says, I'll let you do your spiel and everything. He says, but that's great. He said, that was fantastic. You got great technique. And I was just laughing my ass off. And we just stopped the tour from there, and just did our own thing. We went to the club and had drinks. I mean, it was just like, what the hell, But yeah, that was my technique, and then he hit me back with that. I'm like, what do you do with that? Where do I go from that response? Like, do I turn around and say, well, what do you say? Are you
you started
swallow?
you know what he's told you what the next move is. You got to convince her to swallow. And
You know what? So why don't you swallow?
I'm like, oh my God, it really blew me
That
away.
would be the next move, is to move to the next, because he subbed a wife instead of subbed a hub. He's like, I don't know, maybe it's on her now.
you got to listen to your client.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what do you say, doll? You willing for that to have?
You should have been like, she does.
Oh man.
You wouldn't have sold the timeshare, but
Okay.
you would have gotten punched.
All right. I want to. I gotta wrap it up here soon. The kids are getting crazy.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here myself. Let me say goodbye first. Flo, say good to chat with you, my friend. Sovereign, as always, brothers. Always good to see you, Lady Tribune. Do you know you can always text me in Austin when you need us, honey? And
Yes,
to the
of
next
course.
show, next time.
Yes. I will. I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing next, but we'll figure it out.
Hey, you say I don't commit to shit too. I just go live just like you do. You know how I do, so it's all good. Just let me know. Chat. Good to see y'all. To the next one. I'm out. Peace.
All right.
I think you said everything. I don't have anything else to add. Thanks for having me up,
Yep, of
Dave.
course. Thank
I'll
you
talk
for
to you
jumping
again
on.
probably tonight or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Later, chat.
Bye. All right.
And I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead,
say, I hope Skylar's doing well. Tell him we give him his best and everything, and we're trying to hold everything up while
He is.
he's going through all this. And I hope you're doing good too. So like FMX said, if you need something, man, reach out. Is there a private chat on this thing somewhere?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm gonna give you my phone number in case you need anything.
Okay. Just for an update for everybody, because I know somebody was asking earlier in the chat how to mail Skylar things. I don't know about actual physical mail. I know in order to. Awesome. Okay. Well, that just went to everybody for a moment. So, oh God, I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Skylar mail. Okay. They were asking how to mail Skylar something. I don't know about as far as physical mail goes, but I do know like books and things have to be sent directly to him from Amazon. And I'll drop it in the Troubling Tribune public chat on Telegram. The website is smartjailmail.com. I'll drop his inmate number and things in there. You guys can set an account with them to be able to send him emails. They do charge for emails. It's like 50 cents per email and a minimum of a $5 purchase on there. You can send him pictures for $1. And then there's also the Securus for the phone calls and such. He has been giving me a lot of codes for free video calls. So and it's like a 20-minute call. So if anybody wants a code for a free video call, message me on the public chat on the Troubling Tribune, and I'll give you one. I don't want to give out a bunch and have confusion. All right, yeah, Shifty's saying, shout out to Shifty Eyes and Austin Whatsit for guiding me through this whole legal process. It's been crazy. Thank you for coming on, Sovereign Soul. Thank you everybody for coming on. I am too big now. I don't like seeing my face this large. We're gonna jump back over here, and we're gonna finish up with what I started with. NASA putting out this scan of the United States and the high levels of nitrogen dioxide in the urban areas. So if we look at the map, we're looking at those lines, those ley lines where all that red is, where they're saying all this nitrogen dioxide is coming from. But let's pop on over here to this. It looks a little somewhat familiar to me, but that's just me. I can't zoom in any further on that, unfortunately. It's a video. But yeah, just something to think about. Think about why all those gases are coming from the caves. Think about the time of the year. Think about the air pressure changes and how, based on season, hot air is going to be pushed out of the caves when the air pressure's cold, and vice versa during the summer and winter. You get what I'm saying. So the caves quite literally breathe. So of course we would assume to see gases coming from them while they are trying to push this to like our atmospheric changes and our pollution and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, just something to think about. Let's go back to OBS and let's see. No, I was doing it right. Oh, there we go. There we go. I figured it out. I'm doing it. I don't have any help now, guys. Thanks to everybody for coming on. We're gonna go ahead and do our thing. I appreciate everyone for coming on, talking with me, helping me figure it out. Shane, thank you so much. Oh man, sorry guys. Trying to figure it out back here. All right. All right. Thanks for showing up. Much love, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.